Alright, welcome back. So I've done a fuel pump, as you saw the other video, and a fuel filter, and we still had the same issue, which led me to think coils. Now, I think the coil may possibly be bad. Now I should test it really, but because it works for a bit and then fails, I think that testing it while not under load is going to be an issue, because I think it'll pass that test. And considering only about 25 quid for a second-hand one, I went ahead and I bought one. So hopefully the second-hand one's fine, and we'll give that a go again. Tested this without any load, and it seemed to be fine, but we can't really see without trying. So I bought that. Also, I've got myself a couple of quick disconnects to go onto my fuel lines, because I think the tank's going to end up coming on and off quite a lot. Now, I didn't go for the proper disconnect switch, disconnect and shut the fuel off, so I'll still have to use the clamps to shut the fuel off, but at least it'll make taking the tank on and off a lot easier. So that's what we're going to do today, get the quick disconnects fitted, swap across to the new coil, and we'll see if that's improved matters. Alright, time to get started. Yeah, so it's just these two lines here I'm going to swap out. Hoping I can put one there, one there. We'll see in a second. Popping off all this plastic does get annoying. I might see if I can find a way of securing that there and putting a nice little trim piece in around. I mean, they do expose quite a lot there. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it a bit more. In the meantime, time to clamp them off. Now for that, I've got these little supposedly fuel line clamps now. Is this going to be long enough? Just in case things leak badly. So what we're looking at is popping this in. And I'm thinking about there. So if I make a cut here, this one I'd like to cut further up, because that way I always know which one goes which. But if I cut about here and slide that one in place, let's give that a go. Let's see how much fuel flows everywhere. I'm expecting some fuel. There we go, but not that much. Let's free up some slack on this. As I said, these are just simple pass-through quick disconnects. Still have to use the clamp, but I feel it'll be just easier to deal with if they are quick disconnects rather than having to unscrew every time. So on that goes. It says on that goes, but pull that down. These are supposed to be the right size, but they're not. It's the easiest thing to get in the world. Right, you can see I've managed to get these on. I've had to use the wrong type of clips, because my ones I ordered were 11 to 13 and I needed the next size up, and once I cut it, didn't have much choice. So you'll see now that these just connect up nicely there and there, and what I'm going to do now is take off the tank so I can actually get to what I'm trying to do, which is the coil. But at least now for the future, removing the tank, it was a simple case of just disconnecting by pushing these, sliding this off, put my actual clamps in place first so fuel doesn't gush everywhere, then push these, slide these off, as you can see, and you can see I've got them offset slightly so I can tell them apart. Now it should just be a case of pulling that tank clip and the whole tank. Oh no, I've actually got to unbolt that. I forgot all about that. Brain of a civet here. I think there was a 6. That's a 6. Out the ball goes. And washer.
Partridge or a pheasant or something, roughly, right?
Yeah. So I mustn't forget the washer. Now hopefully the tanker will come off, provided I've not forgot anything. So electric's disconnected, fuel line disconnected. Yeah, and I've forgotten something. What I forgot was the airline. Let's see if I can balance this precarious stuff back. So not airline, what do you call it? Tank vent. There we go. Alright, now the tank's out, you can have a bit of a closer look there. So that's all that is. What I'm actually here to do today is, I believe it's here, take out that coil and then replace it with my spare one. So I'm actually going to put you down and have a bit of a tinker with this and see how it all goes, and I'll drop you back in once I'm done. Okay, we're just jumping back in. I've had to disconnect a few things to get to this, but this caused the old style, which looks to have been superseded by the new part. So to get this one out, you have to undo 2 bolts at the top here, then give that a knock. You also have to disconnect this 16 through bolt just slightly to give enough clearance to slide this out. And then underneath here you can see got to disconnect an earth cable. Now I just got to disconnect those and it should just come out, which is the next theory, but that's just for clearance, so that can come out and get some clearance there. So hopefully that's going to work. Back in a bit. Alright, this is the new coil in. As you can see, that's mounted. I've gone right to the right hand side, I assume, and left to the left. Get to the main coil, earth it there. That just needs to be connected up now, and the whole thing needs to just go back together. But so far, I've put that in place. This all looks pretty good. Hopefully it just works. I'm just more concerned about having these coil leads the wrong way around, but we'll see what happens. There's no instructions I found on the internet to guide me very well, so we'll take a best guess. Okay, it primes. Can't see any fuel leaks. That's not a great sign. Oh no, I've got horrible feelings, exactly what I did before. See, I can hear the fuel pump whining. It doesn't appear to be the coils, unless it is the actual coil. Oh, that is rather unsuccessful. So again, fuel pump is definitely making noises. You can hear it prime, you can hear it when it runs. Everything runs. The battery's a little bit low now, unfortunately, but everything runs, but it dies. As soon as it goes into throttle, it dies after a little while. I mean, a lot of people on the internet say hall sensors affects a lot of this, but I didn't think it would be a hall sensor if it ran. I mean, I suppose that's the next thing to chase down. Right, in the meantime, I'm going to pack this away, go back on the internet for some research. At least my fuel lines aren't leaking and they're easy to disconnect for the future. And I've got a newer coil in there, so if nothing else, that's something. A little bit upsetting, because I was really expecting this moment, the coils to do the job. Now, could be the leads breaking down, could also be the plugs, but because it starts, but it doesn't stay idling. I'm not quite sure where to go. So if anyone has any suggestions of what to do, please just leave a comment below. Share it with friends if they have any ideas of what could be the problem. Please just let me know, because at this point I might have to go a bit parts cannon. I honestly believed it was going to be the fuel pump and the fuel filter being a problem, which is, when I took it apart, I saw there was a nice hole in the bottom of the screen there, and the fuel filter needed to be changed on a regular basis anyway, so it's worth doing. And then because it dies when it tries to push current through, or after some time, I actually assumed that would be a coil location, but now I don't know. So again, anyone who has suggestions, please let me know. Alright, hopefully we'll see you soon, and next time I'll have it running, maybe.